back to another bookish vlog. The excitement levels for today are unmatched. They are through the roof for today. As you can see from the title, today we are going to be visiting the 4 most iconic bookshops in London. Those of you that have been around for a while and maybe even come from my other channel, you'll know this video has been on the cards for so long. I've been waiting for the perfect spring day when the sun is shining and we can just roam around London and explore all of the wonderful bookshops. Today, 4, I think, is the max we're going to be able to achieve because the most iconic ones in the capital city deserve some proper time dedicated and attention. I'm literally running out the door in just a second, but the shops that we are visiting on our tour today. First up, we are heading straight to Marylebone and going to Daunt Books. You'll have seen pictures of this particular bookshop all over Instagram, all over TikTok. It is beautiful, it is iconic, and the really cool thing about it is that it's focused on travel. So from what I've heard, it's organized by country. You can basically tour the world through books within the shop. That means that whether it's fiction or non-fiction, so if it's a story set in Italy, it will be in the Italy section. What that means for fantasy, I have no idea, because every book is obviously in a different realm. Maybe I haven't got quite the right end of the stick with how the shop is organized, but I'm so excited to do that. That just sounds like the most fun thing to do. I can just like visit Greece and then just see all the books, regardless of genre, that are from Greece. The second place we're gonna visit is then the Flagship Waterstones. It wouldn't be a book shopping trip without a visit to Waterstones, and we're gonna be going to the Flagship. I can't believe I've never been. It is actually the largest Waterstones in Europe, like not even just the UK, it's the largest Waterstones in Europe. It is 6 floors. I don't know how many books are in there, but it is 6 floors, absolutely massive. And all the Waterstones I've got near me are all like very small little 1 or 2 room bookshops, and to go and see a version of it that's 6 stories, oh, I can't wait. Then we're going literally right next door, also in Piccadilly. I'm not sure if I said that we're gonna walk from Marylebone to Piccadilly Circus. Then right next door, also in Piccadilly, is Hatchards. Hatchards is a very special one because Hatchards is actually the oldest bookshop in the whole of the UK. It was first opened, I think, in 1792 and has 3 royal warrants, which basically means they are the kind of official booksellers to the royal households. I know that Hatchards, because it's such an iconic bookshop, I mean really like around the world, you can get some really special signed first edition, special editions that go for like £500, £1,000 a book. But I'm so excited to just go and browse and see all of the goodies they've got in there. And apparently it's all cozy with lots of little like nooks, and oh, that is bookshop number 3. And then the final bookshop, we're then gonna walk from Piccadilly to Charing Cross and go to the Foyles Flagship as well. Not quite as big as the Waterstones, but I think that's still like 5 floors or something, like massive. Before walking back over the water to Waterloo to get the train back home. So that's the plan for today. 4 insane stops on the trip. I need to go get my train. It's going to be a seriously hot day. Anybody that knows that temperatures in London do not equate to elsewhere in the world. Today is like 23, 24, which I promise feels like mid-30s if you're anywhere else in the world. Like, I know those of you that are from Australia are going to be like, 23, 24, is that really hot? Yes, like I'm going to be absolutely sweating today. In London, it just feels different. It feels so different. Got my SPF. Gonna go put on some walking trainers so that I can really pound the pavements. Definitely taking a big bag. So, you know, in case we end up buying a few from each of the shops. And then maybe we'll even haul anything I buy when I get back. Okay, enough talking. Let's go see London. Okay, here we go. Stop 1. Welcome to one of the most beautiful places in all of London, in my opinion. Welcome to Marylebone and welcome to Daunt Books.
Okay, I found the answer to the where does the fantasy stuff sit? It's kind of split into two sections. You have an entrance room when you first walk in where there's kind of general fiction organised in a typical bookshop way. And then you walk through to the books organised by country section. This is like the iconic, beautiful part. And oh my gosh, it is stunning. I started off in the entrance foyer before going downstairs. Just being able to look at all of the books that you see kind of on your TBR or out and about. I still haven't read The Poppy War, but obviously that's organised in the China section. Egypt, the Middle East, the Caribbean, South America. You can really go all over the world, and it's so magical how immersive it is. And then I went upstairs. It's honestly unbelievable how otherworldly this place feels. It really did feel like I was in another universe. The peace and comfort of wandering around London by yourself in a bookshop with the sunlight streaming in through the stained glass windows, surrounded by books. Definitely put this one on your bucket list, guys. Just like that, it's time to move on to bookshop number 2. But first, we have the loveliest walk through very, very sunny London. We walk through Marylebone all the way down New Bond Street. I can't afford anything on this street, but oh my gosh, is it beautiful. All the way down to Piccadilly and into stop number 2, Hatchards. Gosh, did I love Hatchards. I even went through all of the children's stuff. They had Harry Potter, Enid Blyton, which was such a childhood throwback. And then very sadly, or maybe not so much, it was time to move on to the next one. Stop 3, Flagship Waterstones. This place is massive. There are lifts in the bookshop. Honestly, that blew my mind. I got on a lift. I was like, is this Nirvana? Am I in heaven? This definitely was much more like, I don't know if I want to say like Americanized, but I've always been so jealous of Barnes & Nobles because they have an actual romance section. And I've always said like Waterstones doesn't do that. Here did. There was an entire romance section, shelves and shelves of just romance books. Honestly, I was in heaven. In public and being extremely brave, so I hope I'm getting props for that. Why is it so terrifying? I'm literally in a cafe like full of people. and they can just watch me talk to you. I'm so brave. Anyway, I finally sat down for the first time today and I am absolutely exhausted. I've literally, I don't even know how many steps I've done. I wish I could look, but I'm literally filming this on my phone. But I honestly feel like I must have done 10,000 steps already. So we've already done 3 of the shops. There was no opportunity. I could have probably spoken to you in Hatchards, but that place was so beautiful. I literally was like obsessed, like completely in awe. It was stunning. So far, Hatchards is the one that I would recommend the most. Daunt, like, obviously looks beautiful. It's got that whole balcony thing, which is amazing. But Hatchards is like, it feels so special and was really quiet. I think probably because it's literally on Regent Street. And I don't know, you just don't think there's going to be a bookshop there. It was really quiet. So nice. And they also, anyway, I'll show you my haul later. So I've done Daunt, Hatchards, and now we're in Waterstones. I'm just like sat. I'm not even having a coffee. I really need to go get one. But I can't even face like going up to the tills. I really want to go and get a blank street whilst I'm up in town in London, because there are no blank streets out where I am. And I also really want to try a matcha. Like, I kind of believe deep down, like, I'm meant to be a matcha girly. I'm not sure I like them. I've had one hot matcha once, and it was just kind of like grassy. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it was kind of just okay, / I didn't like it. But I want to keep trying. I feel like it's on brand for me to like matcha, you know, when there's something where you're just like, I just feel like I'm the type of person that should like matcha. Like, I read my romance books. I love my girly pop. I should like matcha. So I'm going to go try a blank street, see if I can find one on my way to Foyles or on my route from Foyles back home. Also hunting down my favourite salad in London for my lunch. If you ever visit London, or if you're from London but you haven't been before, then Attis do the best lunches. When I used to commute to Canary Wharf for my job, like, that was my go-to lunch place. Like, Attis is the best of the best. So I want to find myself an Attis and feel nostalgic, because I honestly haven't had an Attis since I left my corporate job, which was a year ago. So I haven't had an Attis in a year, which feels criminal. But yeah, I'm having the nicest day. I feel like I've already bought like so many books, and we've still got one more stop to go. I have, actually, maybe I shouldn't even tell you how many books are already in the bag, but a good amount for me, and how many I would normally buy on an outing. I think I definitely want some more fantasy books in here. I'm missing, but I'm like not feeling very inspired in the fantasy sections every time I go. I don't know, everything's just all looking like a bit either really overwhelming or really like, I don't know, just a bit crap. I'm currently listening to Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco, and like, it's okay. I'm a little bit bored, if I'm really honest. But anyway, I'm listening to my audiobook. I'm wandering London. The sun is out. The books are in the bag. I'm having the nicest day. There's going to have to be another episode of this. This is just going to have to be like episode 1, because this is too much fun. Anyway, I'm going to go hunt myself down a coffee. I will catch up with you when we get to the next stop. Foyles or lunch. Hopefully lunch. But we'll see how we go. Try it. Look at me filming in public again. Am I the bravest woman you've ever met and ever heard of? Yes, I am. Okay, I'm just gonna like wait for these girls to walk past because they're cutesy. But okay, so first of all, here she is. She's pretty stunning. She's gone a bit murky at the bottom. She was cuter when I first picked her up, and now she's kind of gone a little bit grey. Given her a good mix, so she no longer like has the cute gradient, but I've given her a mix. Let's try. Ooh, okay. You know what? I actually really like that. Guys, success. I can't tell if I like matcha or if I just like a lot of very sugary strawberry jam. But it's good. We're successful. We've got our matcha. Walking through London. Oh, it's really nice. It's very, very sweet. I'm not really sure if this is like actual coffee. But like, this is just to me like a dessert. Like, it's just a sugary strawberry drink. But I mean, I like this. If this is what all matcha's like, I like it.
It's the next day, and yesterday was the best day ever. So I have the biggest bag of books. It is completely full to the brim, and I've been thinking about it, and I think a full haul of everything that I bought and treated myself to will need to be its own video. Otherwise, I'm gonna like triple the length of this video talking you through all the books that I bought. Instead, I wanted to do a bit of a recap of the day yesterday. So that if you wanna do a day similar to this, or if you're visiting London, or if you're already from London and you wanna go to any of the places that I went to, you know my top recommendations. So we obviously went to 4 stops. They were all so good. Not one single shop is disqualified from being recommended. I recommend them all. However, if you had to only go to one, it's already a difficult thing for me to say. If you had to only go to one bookshop, I would say go to Hatchards. It felt so incredibly like English for a London bookshop experience. There was a whole wall of classics, which was amazing just to see. I mean, I found it really interesting. This might sound really silly, but to see like what constitutes a classic. Because if you were like, what are the classics? Okay, yeah, I'd say all of the Austens, I'd talk about the Brontes, Great Expectations. Like there's obviously some that immediately come to mind, but then seeing other books that also form part of that list on an entire wall to know what they are, and it made me so itchy to collect more classics, because I have a few special copies of my absolute favorite classics. I don't think you can see her, but I've got my very special copy, which is very dusty. I need to do a bookshelf clean, but I've got my very special copy of Jane Eyre, and they had all of these editions in that shop. I also believe I've got a copy of Emma downstairs. Of course, I've got a copy of Pride and Prejudice. I feel like I have read a decent chunk of the classics. I don't do it on my channel. They're not books that I tend to reach for to reread, although I did reread Jane Eyre a lot as a child. I'm getting distracted. They had this beautiful wall of classics, and I really do want to go back so I can start collecting some more lovely editions just like this one for my shelves. There was also a lot in Hatchards on like the Great War, World War II. Churchill had his own like entire section. There was a big wall on politics, a lot on British history, but they also had an amazing children's section. The children's section at Hatchards was spectacular. There was so much Harry Potter. There was this lovely Enid Blyton wall. They had books and puzzles and all of these like nooks and crannies for the children's section that was just really lovely. And they had beautiful editions for like children's nursery rhymes, and there was a special edition of I think it was Paddington in the Garden, but they had a beautiful special edition of Paddington Bear books that I've got a couple of babies in my life, and I was thinking when special occasions come up for them, I'm definitely going to go there and get them like a lovely special edition of children's nursery rhymes or a lovely children's story. There is also the royal crest very proudly displayed on the front and inside, and it does mention a few times they are the official booksellers to the royal households, as I mentioned at the beginning. There are a couple of sofas in there where you could sit down and read your book if you wanted to. There's no cafe facilities there at all, and I will say that like Piccadilly as a road is not the nicest road to just hang out in, but if you're going to go to one bookshop for the bookshop, for the joy of it being a bookshop, go to Hatchards. If you just want a lovely day out in London, my recommendation is to go to Daunt Books and spend your day in Marylebone. So Marylebone, however you pronounce it. Marylebone is one of the most beautiful places in London, in my opinion. All the shops around there are so lovely. There are so many great cafes, restaurants, coffee shops that it would be such a nice day out to go to Marylebone, do a bit of shopping, go into Daunt Books, get yourself a coffee, have yourself some nice lunch. And then if you wanted to, and you've got time, you could then do the 20-25 minute walk from Daunt Books in Marylebone down to Hatchards to pop into Hatchards, even though once you're actually at Piccadilly, like I wouldn't really recommend hanging around in that area. To me, it's not the nicest area to hang around in just because it's like feels very intensely busy London, whereas Marylebone's more like a little village within London. So those would be my top 2 recommendations. If you want a lovely day out in London, do Daunt Books and Marylebone. If you want to go to just like the most special bookshop that I visited of those 4, then go to Hatchards. Foyles was the most easy to navigate in terms of if I wanted a book to buy. I felt like Foyles was the exact right size. If it was big, but not massive, and everything was really easy to find. It was really easy to navigate, and there was something about the big Foyles was very like calming. The Waterstones was probably my least favorite bookshop. In fact, it was definitely my least favorite bookshop, but oh my gosh, did it have everything. The romance section was incredible. They also had next to the romance section that was even bigger, an LGBTQ, and I think it was like an LGBTQIA+ section that was amazing. It was so incredible. The number of books, the volume of books in that whole area area was so cool. So I think if you want a particular book, or you want to go to a bookshop that you know has everything and has specific sections for everything, go to Waterstones. Waterstones also had loads of Jellycats, so that was really fun. And Waterstones is the only one, I don't think Foyles has one. Waterstones was the only one of the 4 that has a cafe inside it. In fact, they actually have a restaurant slash cafe on the top floor. I went up there to have a look at it. It actually didn't look great. I wouldn't really recommend banking on that top floor restaurant. They kind of sell that as something nice, but I went up and it didn't look great. Or they have a little cafe on like the mezzanine level where I stopped to just like sit down for a little bit. And that's, I think, is a better pit stop option of they've just got teas and coffees and like a few cakes. It's honestly exhausting exploring that entire Waterstones. Also, of course, the Waterstones has like lots of bathroom facilities. It's so massive. It's like a whole shopping mall in and of itself. So quite something. But I think that if you want to spend a day in London, I wouldn't bother having lunch or having coffee in a particular bookshop. I think there are so many wonderful coffee shops and cafes. Do that elsewhere in London and then pop into the bookshops to see the books. So those are my main recommendations and my main thoughts. What a day. I had the best time. Shall I do another one? Shall I do a part 2? Tell me what you think. If you're like, no, that's cool, I'm happy with that selection, then I'll absolutely leave it there. There are, of course, so many more bookshops in London. If there are any particular ones that you want me to visit, let me know. We could make this into a little bit of a series and we could just spend the summer going into London, going to bookshops, reading our books in the city. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you want me to go. Let me know if you like this or not. Extra book video coming this week because I'm going to haul all of the books that I bought in their own video. So that'll be an extra one in hopefully a couple of days. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having such a lovely week and I cannot wait to see you